All right. Hello, ladies. We are here again with another Nights with Nora. And of course, you ladies know I always bring a special guest with me. I have a very special guest actually this time around, guys. And we are talking about a subject that you ladies have been waiting on for so long. I know I've been getting inboxes, DMs, comments about this particular subject. And we are talking today about our weight loss journey. And like I said, I have a very special guest with me today, and we have been trying to get in this studio forever, y'all. And finally, the stars have aligned, and God has made it to where we can be together on this interview today. So I am so happy and so elated, y'all, to introduce my friend and fellow weight loss journey co-E, I'm going to say, Miss Whitney Wheeler, y'all. Let's give her a round of applause because this is her very first time on Girl Talk Inc., y'all. Yay! So we are happy to have her, and I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself to you guys because she has a lot, y'all. Her resume is long. She has done incredible things on her journey. I have watched her journey from, I want to say, from 2015, maybe 16. I have been watching her journey and seeing her grow and really just transform, like literally transform before my eyes. And it has been, I can't even describe the words. It has been incredible to be able to watch that journey, to see where she is now and where she started. But the thing about Miss Whitney that I love the most is her spirit has never changed. She has literally had the same excitement even before the weight loss and now. She's had the same beautiful blossom, understanding, open, helpful personality that I've seen. And I haven't even met her in person, y'all. Like, keep in mind that this is just a woman that has come into my life via the internet. But let me tell y'all something about internet connections. They are powerful. They reach beyond the wires, beyond social media. I have seen her development and growth, and I am so proud of you, Miss Whitney, and all that you have done. It's been incredible, tremendous. So anyway, without further ado, can you please introduce yourself and tell the ladies a little bit about who you are and what you've been doing here lately?
Yes, absolutely. And first and foremost, thank you for that beautiful introduction. But I have to throw it back to you because you are absolutely phenomenal. We met, I think it was about 2014.
Okay.
And this is when you were doing like the mentor group. And it was just
Yes.
on Facebook. And it started off with a few of us, but you were so faithful with pouring into women. And that's why I said, I don't care what I got going on. I'm going to make room to come on here with you because it's so important for fire to stand next to fire, right? When we're
Right.
talking about weight loss, it's so important. Connections are key. You want to have a powerful circle, right? So thank you for the introduction. For those of you who don't know, my name is Whitney Wheeler. My husband likes to call me the anointed coach.
Yes, and I agree.
But I started off my weight loss journey at 543 pounds, and I'm currently down 305 pounds. And my goal in life is not just to brag on my success. It's not about me anymore. Once you've overcome, now it's time to help everybody else. Now it's time to go back. Someone said, like Harriet Tubman, you come over, now you got to go back and bring your people, right? And that's what it's
Right.
about. When we overcome something, when you break a chain like obesity, when you come off of 11 different medications, I'm just telling my testimony, right? You don't hold that in. When you have a
Right.
near death experience, you don't hold that in. When you have to watch, I had to watch obesity murder my mother and grandmother. So I can't hold this in, right? So
Right.
anytime I have an opportunity to share my story, I share my story because of the glory of God that's on it. I share my story because my family is now down 1,000 pounds. I share my story because my followers alone is down 7,000 pounds. I just want to set that foundation for people that's tuning in. I want you to know you've tapped into good soil today. Even
Wow.
us together. So how much weight have you lost so far?
132 pounds.
132 pounds. You guys have tapped into the right platform today. So if this is for you, if you feel that you are going to be able to benefit from listening to two powerful weight loss warriors, then I want to
Right.
make sure you step in, share this with every person you need to share it with, because I believe in divine appointments. And today we're going to help you get free from those bondages of obesity. I'm excited, sis. Wow!
Yes, me too. Oh my goodness. That was so powerful. God is good. And it is, y'all. Like, I know that, just being on my journey and overcoming and getting to the point to where I even was able to get my mindset right. That mindset shift is where it was at. It wasn't about my body, because my body was going to align. I had to get my mind right. I had to really get into the mind frame that this is what I wanted to do. And I tried so many times, and it was just so many times I would try different fad diets. I would do this, I would do that, and I would lose a little, I gain it back. And it was such a yo-yo, and it was that perseverance of going over and over and recommitting myself. And I know, Miss Whitney, that you probably and I know for sure you did go through that process where you had to continue to recommit and persevere. Talk to the people, or talk to the ladies, a little bit about what that process felt like, to have to keep continuing to strive over and over and showing up for yourself every single day.
Absolutely. So I started my journey in 2013. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I started my journey because I didn't have a good example for my body type, my size to be able to follow. I would follow different accounts, mimic what people were doing, but I didn't get success from it. So I vented on Facebook one day. This was 2013. I vented on Facebook how frustrated I was. I was going to the gym, eating the brown rice that the people were eating, and nothing was happening. So once I did that, people started reaching out saying that they felt the same way. So I said, okay, I'm going to blog my story. I'm going to tell my story, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because people need
Yes.
to know what you do for real. So great, right? I'm on fire now. I'm finally getting the right formulas. I'm losing weight, but then life get the life in, right? And
Yes.
that's what I had to discover over this 10-year weight loss journey, is that you have to master the art of being able to pivot. See,
Yes.
we think, and what I thought for years, right? I thought when I started this new diet, we're gonna talk about a diet for a second, because we don't
Yeah.
diet no more. We do lifestyles. But I thought
Right.
I was gonna do this diet and life was gonna stop. I thought because I was on the diet, everybody around me was supposed to
Yeah.
eat clean. I thought because I was on the diet and I'm working
Right.
out, everybody around me got to do that. I
Exactly.
thought because I'm eating clean that everybody at my job is supposed to leave that bad food at home, right?
Yeah.
So I had to master the art of being able to pivot. Life don't change because you go on a lifestyle change or a diet. What happens is that the more you be consistent in your consistency, you become stronger, and then you learn how to, I'm talking about my book now, these are the tools I have in my book. You have to learn how to get up quick. So yeah, life will happen and you have to reset yourself, but when life happens, you have a point here where you have that cheat meal may turn into a cheat week. You can either drop and go back to your old ways, and that cheat week turn to a cheat month. Now you can gain your weight back. I mastered that at one point. But
Right.
then,
Oh,
but
I know.
once you learn how to get up quick, once you learn that one meal, don't feel guilty off of one meal. You got to get out of that. One meal ain't going to take you backwards, but that action behind that meal can. So you just have to
Mm.
learn how to look at food differently, change your reaction to life when it happens, and then you can continue to be in this forward momentum state. Does that make sense?
Yes. Wow. And
Yeah.
it's so true, everything you said about that meal. I think I was talking to a young lady the other day that was talking about how she was struggling with just the idea of messing up. Like, once I do it once, it's over with. I already ate the hamburger, so I might as well do it all. I'm like, no. Once you eat the hamburger, you reverse. Like, just because you have one bad day or one bad meal doesn't mean you throw everything in a trash. My mom used to say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like, it's not an all or be all or nothing type of thing, because if you have one flat tire, you don't go flatten all the other three. You get that tire fixed and you keep driving your car. You know what I mean? You don't just say, "Oh, I messed up, so I'm gonna go punch a hole in all my other tires." Like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna air that thing up. I'm gonna get a new tire. I'm gonna do what I have to do and keep going down that road. And I had to learn that, because I would think, "Oh, I ate the Cheetos, or I ate the hamburger, or I got, I didn't switch my fries out instead of salad, or I got a Diet Coke instead of a sugar-free drink," or you know what I'm saying? These little bitty things that people think are gonna be the end all. It's not that, sis. You gotta keep going. You gotta get back on that bandwagon constantly every day. Or even if you skip a workout, if you skip one workout or a whole week of workouts, jump back on. Every day can be day one. You know what I mean? It's not something you gotta throw everything in the trash. And that's been the thing with me. It's just consistency, creating a lifestyle, not thinking, "Oh, this is a fad diet. Oh, I did this diet, or I did this challenge, or I did that." It's about every day, and this is a part of who I am and what my life is. So that was so true what you said, Miss Whitney, about it being a lifestyle and a mindset. But I also know that you went through a spiritual transformation too, right? It wasn't just about your physical weight changing, that your mindset, and I know that a lot of people like, what's your hidden secret, what's your thing? And I would always tell people, prayer is my secret sauce. Like, behind the scenes, that you see me on social media and the pounds is falling off and I'm eating the diets, but how did I get myself that way? One thing that I do, and I call my secret sauce, is definitely prayer, and I go to therapy. I had to heal some childhood wounds. It was some empty things in me that were causing me to overeat. It was some broken things that had happened to me in my life that had caused me to be in that mindset. And comfort eating and depression were one of them. When I get depressed, I realize that I eat. And that was becoming self-aware. What are some things that you found, or some triggers, or some things that you found about your mindset that may have been broken during your journey?
That is a great question. So for me, I didn't know what I was supposed to pray for. See, for
Mm,
me, it was about deliverance. Okay.
yes.
And when people hear the word deliverance, they can kind of get afraid of that word because they don't really
Yeah.
feel like that word applied to them. And especially when it comes to church, when you think about oh no, you got to get delivered from drugs and alcohol and all of this. But in reality, deliverance is nothing but, and I talk about in my book, Walking Out of the Coffin, I have a section in here on deliverance. And I tell my story about the mountain in the book. And what I talk about with that was, so for so many years, I would pray, "God, help me lose weight. Help me stop eating.
Mm,
God, help me lose weight. I want to lose this weight so bad." And nothing would happen.
mm,
And I'm looking at this mountain in front of me of obesity. And I'm like, "God, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna climb." This is a 10-year journey, right? Just kind of journey with me for a second. So here I stand, this huge mountain in front of me, mountain as big as Mount Everest, that I call obesity. So the
mm,
first thing I did, I said, "You know what? I'm gonna climb this mountain." So different food plans, I'm climbing this mountain, sis. I get to a certain point, the mountain is too tall, I slide down.
mm,
I fall and I end up back in that 500-pound body. Then I said, "Okay, you know what? I'm gonna walk around this mountain." So I got up again on my journey and I'm walking around this mountain. And I get halfway to the point and I realize the mountain is just too wide. I couldn't walk around it. So I turn around and go back. Then the third time, and this is literally my journey. The third time, I'm like, "All right, I got the right set of tools. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tear down this mountain." So I got keto and stuff, and I'm just trying to tackle down this mountain, and it ain't budging. And I'm like, "Well, I can't do this no more. I done gave this journey, the world watching me. I can't pass 400 pounds. I would lose 150 pounds, gain it back. Lord, what is you know what? I'm done. I can't, right?" And
right.
God literally said, like, led me to the scripture of the mountain. God never intended for me to touch that mountain. I wasn't supposed to climb the mountain. I wasn't supposed to walk that mountain. I wasn't supposed to try to tear down that mountain. God gave me power to speak to the mountain and command it to move.
Yes.
So I had to physically command this mountain to move. And once I commanded it to move, I realized the mountain of obesity really wasn't a mountain of obesity. It was some small mountains that were reflecting a big mountain. What it was, obesity was a symptom that something was going on the inside. So I had a small little mountain here of depression. Every time I was hurting, I would grab this certain food that was a depression stronghold. So now I know I don't pray for food. I pray for you to remove this depression, God. Because now that this depression is gone, I don't turn to that meal no more. But now I got
Yes.
addiction. Now it's addiction.
Wow.
Now it's another mountain of addiction over here. But God, you got to break this addiction over here because I'm addicted to food. I'm addicted to alcohol. I'm addicted to cigarettes. And all of this stuff is living on the inside. And that's when I realized I was living in a coffin. I'm just piling all this stuff on the inside. And what is it doing? Just swelling. The weight just swelling because all of this stuff, hurt, pain, addiction, brokenness is just literally inside of me. And I'm just suffocating inside this coffin I call my body, not thinking it's a way out. But
Wow.
once I learned how to identify what was causing the weight to show up, that weight got to go. In order for me to defeat obesity, I had to
Yes.
defeat the stuff. And let me explain that. DEFEET. I had to defeat it. Sometimes you got to cut the feet off of your problem so it won't stand no more. Now you in a position
Yes.
where you can defeat it because it ain't standing. So you got to realize what's on the
Wow.
inside of you that's standing stronger than your promise. That plate, I had to cut the feet off them fools. I had to cut the feet off the table. I had to cut the feet off depression, hurt, and brokenness so that I can walk into the promise, so that I can see the promised land. Long as these mountains was here, I didn't even know it was possible to be 300 pounds, 200 some pounds. I couldn't see it because the mountain was so big. But once you command the mountain to move, now you can have a view that there is a promise and it don't have to be like that. I don't even
Wow.
gotta be 500 pounds.
Wow. Yes. Oh my goodness. Glory. Okay. That's so good. Listen, it's gonna be a sermon this morning because I absolutely love the way you that what you said right now because it's so true. You know what I mean? Like all of that when you understand, like a lot of people don't understand and never will understand or can relate to having that much weight to lose. You know what I mean? Or that mounted against themselves that big. Look at that, y'all. Like this is a transformation picture, and I will actually tag some of these below. Y'all go to her page and follow her so y'all can really see like this is like a literal real life walking miracle. And I know like a lot of times like people don't I haven't ever in my life met anyone that had that much weight to lose and was able to do it and do it successfully and to be here whole. So this is like a miracle. You know what I mean? Like this is something I know is supernatural and that God has had his hand on your life and the people that you are impacting and reaching are connected to your platform and what you're doing. But you had to step in and do that. You had to walk in that. You had to stand up and stand in that glory and stand in that place. And sometimes self-defeating or self-sabotaging thoughts will come in and try to knock you away because the devil understands too. Just like God is in the mix of people, the enemy has things that he has set up for people as well. And if he can knock you off of what you're doing, he can block others that are connected to your life from doing what you were doing. But you were able to overcome it all. You were able to step in and do all of that even in the midst of that. What the enemy meant for evil, God turned all of that around for good. And now you're standing in that. And I know a lot of times people get into a place of where they have a lot on them, like they carry a lot, and not only a lot physically but a lot mentally and emotionally and spiritually that you carry because what you were carrying was powerful. Like there are millions of people that are free. And it's people that you probably will never even see in your lifetime that are going to continue to be free, because they're going to go out and write books and stories and do things from the story and journey that you have done. So it is incredible. You know what I'm saying? Like this, the whole thing and the whole idea and the whole thought of overcoming self-sabotage and being able to walk in that every single day and being able to walk in that victory and that freedom of being who you are. And it's so beautiful that just you as yourself is already a testimony. Like the story and the facts and everything that you've been able to accomplish is the testimony. And that's your life that you're living every single day. So as you go through that, what were some of those self-sabotaging thoughts that were in your head that you really had to try to diminish?
Hmm. You know, I funny you said that. I actually just got delivered from the final, what I believe is that final self sabotaging process. But for me, because I lost my mother, well, I lost my
Mm.
grandmother at 48 to congestive heart failure, struggled with obesity. Then that was in 98. Then I lost my mother in 2009,
Mm.
44 from obesity, congestive heart failure. So in my mind, ain't no 50, ain't no 45 coming, like, and
Yeah.
they weren't even my size at that time. And it wasn't until actually Sunday that
Wow.
where it was they were talking about, because I'm a curse slayer. I broke that generational curse.
Yes.
And the fruit of it is that my family's down over 1,000 pounds now. Everybody, I took every person in my family, and like it just began to break. But they were talking about the children of Israel and making it to the promised land.
Mm.
And it was 40 years that had to pass for the generation, for the next
Mm-hmm.
generation. So I look at my grandmother. She was on her weight loss journey. She was a part of Overeater Anonymous, Weight Watchers, always watched her weight, but she couldn't back away from the table. So her generation, she couldn't make it. That 40 years that she was gone. Then I looked at my mother. She same thing, watched her on her weight loss journey, but she couldn't make it to the promised land. So my generation had to be the one to step up. And now I'm like, okay, so that curse is truly broken. And it took me to realize it from that point of view, because in my mind, I always thought that I would fail. I always thought that this was a temporary moment. I didn't think it was another way out. I didn't think my family deserved to have a long lasting life. Like I just assumed
Mm.
that my lineage was short term. So I had to break that chain off
Wow.
of me so that I can walk fully in it. And there was some other stuff too, but that main one has been recent that has helped me to move forward in my journey.
And that's so good that you said that, sis. And I share that too, of family and generational curses of obesity.
Mm-hmm.
My whole family has been overweight, including my mom, and she also passed away from obesity related issues. And my grandmother, my grandmother was about 500, maybe a little over 500 pounds, to where she couldn't walk. She was in a wheelchair and ended up, contracting different obesity related diseases, and ultimately died from those issues. And then, years later, my mom passed away from the same thing. And I knew then that I needed to change the trajectory of my life. I couldn't continue on like that. It really scared me. My mom passed
Mm-hmm.
away last November. Like, it's not even been a year yet. But a lot of the things that caused her to get into her position was a stroke, which came from high blood pressure, which came from being overweight. And I knew then I had to do something. I had to do something very drastic. I had tried fad diets. I had done a lot of things. And I was presented with an opportunity to try weight loss surgery. And that's something that I hadn't thought of. I thought, well, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm kind of embarrassed. I don't want people to judge me. I had so many different apprehensions about going into this drastic of a change. I was just very fearful and just, didn't know what I was going to do. And I continued, that way leading up into my mom's passing. I was her, her caregiver, so I seen her slipping away, and I'd seen what it could do to me if this is my future if I don't do something about myself. You know what I'm saying? So it really shook me into a place where I had to do something where I felt was more stable, more dramatic. I had to do something. And so I started that process of looking into it, and I was just going back and forth with it. I prayed about it, and I asked God, what is it holding me back? And it really was, at the end of the day, people's opinions and what they thought of me. And I had to get out of that mindset. But my whole life, I've been a people pleaser. Up until probably, my whole life, I would say I'm trying to. And I thought about my childhood wounds and what led me to this. And it definitely was always trying to make my parents happy and get their approval. And I went from my parents to my boss at work to friends and family to co-workers to everybody around me, wanting to make sure I had their stamp of approval and that they were happy with me. And I realized that this was seeping over. And if I allowed people's opinions and approval of me, that I was going to allow them to kill me. Ultimately, their decisions and thoughts of me and who I thought I was, ultimately, I couldn't let that stop me from getting to this huge next stage of my life. So I made the decision for me. I said, I got to live for me. I got to let go of people's opinions, their thoughts of me, their apprehensions. Like, it's not about other people. It's about me. And I truly started this self-love journey. Like, if I don't love me, I can't properly love other people. And that was my decision. Like, that was the biggest act of self-love that I could have ever done, was to go in and do what I needed to do to help me to get this tool to assist me in my way. It's so much to the tool. And a lot of people say, oh, you did the surgery or you did this and that's the easy way out. It is absolutely not the easy way out. It was one of the hardest things I had to do and still doing to this day to try to maintain all of this. But going through that process, I remember watching you on your particular journey, and it was so motivating. It was so encouraging. Even though I know in the beginning you met me, and I was encouraging you and giving you different gems and jewels, and all the women that had came into my atmosphere. But I was, in turn, now the script is flipped, and I was now watching your journey, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so empowering. This is so inspiring, and I felt like my life was in the balance. Like, if I didn't do something now, I didn't know how much more longer I had. I was pre-diabetic, and I had high blood pressure at the time. I was the highest weight I had ever been. And I knew that if I didn't do something, and I had almost had a stroke previous that year. I had broke out in hives. I was going into all of these things, so much stress. And stress is another thing that had tore me down. But anyway, just all of that, I decided to make that big change. And I was like, I made that change, and it was such a God thing. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I did that. And from there on, just, everything started rolling into place for me. And that one decision of self-love started some other things of self-love, and started some other things. I began to like love myself more. I started to break off the chains of people's opinions and they thoughts about me. I went back to school and enrolled back in school and started my master's program. My organization literally went through the roof. Like, it blew up, it took off, everything started changing for me. It wasn't just the thought of me losing the weight. It was so many other things that the enemy had to let go. It was kind of like that thought of when you go up to the sun. So I use the analogy of Superman when he went up to the sun and received his energy. To me, that's like when you go up to God, when God gives you and begins to pour into you, and he opens up these doors that no man can close. It was like, no matter what I did, I couldn't lose even if I wanted to. On days when I wouldn't even get out of bed, things were still happening for me. And I know you went through that experience. So can you talk a little bit about what your journey was like when it comes to the weight loss surgery and the thoughts around that, and what you may have struggled with that as well?
So I'm gonna be completely honest. I was not a fan of weight loss surgery.
Me either.
Not even 2%. And the reason why is because of some conversations I heard from my mother. So
Yeah.
my family were really, really big on, which I can understand because, back in that time, the surgery was new, so it was more complications, different things of that nature. But I remember my mother having a conversation with a friend. I'm just a younger child, kind of ear hustling, what they
Yes.
say. And she was talking to her friend, and a third mutual friend was about to get surgery. At that time, it was called getting your stomach stapled.
Right.
And so she was getting surgery, and my mama and her friend was sitting around. My mother said, and I quote, "Yeah, oh, such and such finna get that surgery. That surgery ain't gonna do nothing but kill her."
Wow.
That was the quote. Those are the words that came out of my mother's mouth. Now, my mother had congestive heart failure, hypertension. She was on all these different meds and stuff. 2 years after my mother let those words come out of her mouth, we were burying my mother.
Wow.
Literally, right after that, she ended up getting congestive heart failure. Like everything happened super quick. Congestive heart failure, full-time oxygen, boom, died. Like quick. I say all that to say, I had that in my mind. I thought that this weight loss surgery would diminish my journey or something of that.
Yeah.
So for years I was doing it, I guess what they consider the natural way. People say it's the easy way out. So now when people say, because when I got the surgery, I didn't tell anyone. I prayed. I didn't share. It was like maybe 2 or 3 people that knew we were in preparation for this. Okay. No one knew because I couldn't allow even a half of word from the enemy to get in here because I would have walked away. So I had to be so grounded and stood flat-footed, flat 10 toes down, and just know that. So it wasn't until it was 2 days before my surgery that I called my family and said, "Hey, I just want to let you know I'm getting ready to do this and I need prayer." So it wasn't time for an opinion. It was already done. So now you just got to pray. And I'm only telling you this in case something happens. I don't want y'all to be surprised, that what happened if I don't make it out. So I did that. But let me tell you what happened. So I made it my goal. I said, "Lord, I have given you my journey for 10 years. When I hit this table, I said, I'm laying down everything." Right. It was like a sacrifice. I said, when this blood shed, just like the blood, I'm leaving hurt, pain. It was like a sacrifice. Like I prayed and I said, "Lord, this has to be it. This is the last card in my deck. Right. I don't have anything." I can so relate to that. Oh my God. Don't do it, God. If I can't break obesity after laying on this table, then I know without a shadow of a doubt that this ain't for me. Yeah. So when I laid on that table, I took authority over obesity because that was the final key I needed. And then when the world say you took the easy way out, I did. Let me tell you why. Because my life is so much easier. I thank God for the easier path. Because see, when I was walking around trying to do this thing without that power and without backing it up, that was the tool I needed because it was hard. Losing weight is hard. Eating clean is hard. Trying to break those chains off your mind is hard. So if you have to get into alignment, when you put in work for 7 years, when you eaten clean for 7 years, when you try plan after plan after plan and you done poured your heart out and God puts you in a season to say, "Okay, you have proven. Let me make it easier for you because you have proven that you can do it." Because see, let me tell you why it's easier. Because if I did it without having that foundation, that weight will come back even with surgery. Exactly. You gotta put yourself in a position so that it's easier. Yes. And let me tell you what happened. Traveling became easy. Now I can get on the plane and I ain't gotta drive. Oh, going to restaurants became easy because now I don't have to fear that I'm going to be able to sit down at the table and break it. Oh, baby, the surgery made it easy. Yeah. I tell people, you can be hard if you want to, But as for me and my body in this season, I had to pivot because the devil is a liar. I had to silence every negative voice in my ear. The devil is a liar. Obesity will kill you. Obesity related issues will kill you. You can't live a life 500 pounds and think you gonna get away with it. Baby, that was a suicidal state. Every time I made a conscious decision to go to McDonald's and eat 5,000 calories worth of food, I was living in a suicidal state. Every day I woke up and I had to take 11 different medications, some twice a day. That was me in a suicidal state. Every day I couldn't physically stand up and I had to roll out of bed. Baby, that was hard. Living life was hard.
Oh my
Walking from
God.
my front door to the car was hard. Not being able to go to the grocery store without leaning over the cart was hard. So if you think, because I saved my life, I took the easy way out, absolutely, because I was sick and tired of living life hard. I was sick and tired of being stuck inside of that coffin. I was sick and tired of the doctors judging me off my weight without getting to the root cause of the issues. Let me tell you something. Let me help you make it easy. Because why are we making it hard? Why do you want to live a hard life? Why do you want to live a life caught up in confusion? Why do you want to live a life hopeless, thinking that you can't come out of this thing? Why do you want to spend 10 years playing with different food plans when you got people that didn't got the results, that didn't made it happen? You better you better stand next to somebody on fire. You better stand next to somebody who done been there and done that. Stop watching, stop judging, and get on this fitness train. I don't care about your opinion. I don't care about your views. I don't care about your thoughts. Baby, I'm concerned with your health. I'm concerned with your spirit. Because I know what obesity can do. Obesity will kill you if you let it. So, baby, let us help you. Don't judge it, because a lot of people done got surgery, but because they so consumed with fear of what the world is going to say, they not sharing their success stories.
Not at all.
Can we talk about it for a second?
Yes.
When I decide, and I almost get upset when I hear it, because I watched people on their journeys since 2013 lose this weight, look good. They've been sharing before and after pictures, sharing different products, all of this stuff, right? But soon as I made a status, said that I got the surgery, here come these silent warriors that's been posting their journeys, talking about, oh, that was the best decision I ever made. Good luck sliding in my DM. No, the devil is a liar, because you dead wrong. Our people been following you for years. You never told them you had a tour. It's not fair. So people following you, buying your product, buying your weight loss story, and you ain't said that you incorporated this tool.
Man,
about what somebody gonna say. Unfollow, because I can't roll with that, because I want to help people for real. I would never leave out a crucial part of my journey that saved my life. Yes. So don't slide in with no silent congratulations when I'm on the front line and you on the same front line, but you ain't telling them. I don't want that in my circle, because we helping people for real. I care about your soul for real. I care about you getting free for real. I don't want to bury nobody else. I know obesity out here with shotguns waiting to take us out, and you leaving out a crucial tool.
Listen, the biggest part, oh my God, let's talk about how full my inbox is of people who telling me they got the surgery but will never put it on a public platform, and selling weight loss pills and waist trainers and all this, but you left out the biggest issue. You had a whole BBL, or you had a whole weight loss surgery. Like, please tell people the truth. And not even about the BBLs. Like, that's a whole nother conversation. We'll say that for another day. But I really want to talk about how people are literally ashamed. Like, right now, 5 people in my mind right now who have filled up my inbox have gotten the surgery because they seen me get it and never told any followers, but have posted so many before and after and weight loss pictures. And I really don't care who this hits or who sees this, because I know probably, whoever see it. But this is so crucial, y'all. People are dying. Their life is on the line,
Exactly.
and they are fighting, battling, struggling. Look, listen, I have several family members who have tried to talk me out of this and tell me I was wrong and I took the easy way out. But I also have several who have gotten the surgery. They are celebrating, they talking about it, they not ashamed. And the reason why they not ashamed is because I'm not ashamed. I had to open my mouth and speak on this. So I want to encourage ladies, women or men, whoever you may be, if you do this surgery and it saved your life, don't sit on it. Don't sit on this. Don't lie about it. Don't hide it. It is nothing to be ashamed of. You saved your life. And because you saved your life, you are going to save other people's lives. There are hundreds, thousands, if not millions of people who need this. America is what, 65% right now, obesity right now. So trust me, it's hitting everybody. This ain't no little hidden thing sitting somewhere in the corner. We're everywhere. And if we don't do something about our problem, they're going to die. I'm so happy, Whitney, that you brought this topic up. Oh my God, this shame factor will literally have you dead. I almost let it kill me. I almost let my shame and my thoughts of people opinion of me stop me from doing this. What's the name gonna think? I don't care what you think. Look how fine I am now. Look how good we look. Whitney, I see you in that red dress the other day, sis. You listen.
Listen.
The dress was dressing.
Sis, what, and you know what? And I'm telling you, without, the problem is, and don't misunderstand, because we're not judging anyone. I'm not saying you have to tell all your
Absolutely.
business.
That part.
I'm referring to influencers that's actually being pioneers in this industry.
Yes.
That's when I'm talking about being open, honest, and transparent. That's your business, right? But what I like to tell people is that the reason why there's so much fear wrapped around the surgery, we don't talk about it enough. They're not seeing enough success stories. There's more success stories out there, but they're holding it in. But the ones who have the issue, they're vocalizing it. So if you have 5,000 people with success stories, but nobody is telling it, and you got 10 people over here with complications being real loud, the world gonna see the 10 people being real loud with the complications. Now, don't get me wrong, losing weight through surgery can definitely be dangerous if you don't pay attention and watch and do right and get your vitamins. It's different levels to that. But when you find people who are successful, who have overcome, they will be open to share different tips. Like, okay, I remember when I went through dehydration, I got the dehydration concoction that you can make. And I'm going to be putting that stuff in my next book too, because people need to know, right? People need to know. And I want people to know here as well. And not to just talk about the book, but the book is walking out of the coffin. Whatever that coffin is, my coffin was 543 pounds.
Right.
But sis, people don't know how to get started. See,
yes.
Back in the day, since we ain't had nobody, like your mother struggled with obesity, my mother struggled with obesity. We didn't have that foundation. We had to get it, like I said, we had to get it out the mud. But because we got it out the mud, because you still got to have a foundation. I lost 120 pounds before surgery.
Right.
Got the surgery, lost another 90, plateaued for 4.5 months. That was it. They was ready to give me another surgery. But I had to learn how to pivot, right? But now my brother's down 190 pounds. He didn't have to get surgery because I laid down on that table and I made the sacrifice for my family. So my brother, when I came off that, he lost 190 pounds. My baby brother down 133 pounds. My middle brother, I don't even know how much weight he done lost yet. My stepmother down 80 pounds. I got a cousin down 50 pounds. My husband's down almost 200 pounds. That's just the name of few.
Right.
Because you made that sacrifice. So in here, if you need help getting started, I have everything you need. I have food plans in here, and not just regular food plans. I tell you what to go to the grocery store and buy. It's easy, right? And I'm talking about this is before surgery or anything, right? If you just want to get it out the mud, I can help you lose 200. I think over 200, you might have to hit that table. But
yes. And since we're talking about the book, what is the name of the book, and how can the followers or subscribers, how can we get a hold to this book, and what can we do to get the book, Miss Whitney?
Yes, this book is Walking Out of the Coffin. It's available on Amazon. We #1 new release, and we're in the top 20 right now for best
right
for overall
applause.
bestseller. I have the journal to go along with it as well for daily tracking. But this is really a self-help book, right? So what you're gonna get here, you're gonna get my story, you're gonna get some tools, some of the tools we talked about, like with the consistency at the beginning here. I included all of that in the book. That story of the mountain, how to overcome your mountain, that's included in the book. But most importantly, you get those food plans. 30 days. And since you know a 30-day food plan and personal trainer coming in to tell you how to work out for 6 days out the week, about $500 a month, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm
more,
giving you
more now.
this. Yeah, I'm giving you your grocery list for 30 days. I'm telling you exactly. It no surprises. On day 7, you rest, right? On day 6, back and triceps. I tell you exactly what workouts to do. Nobody gave us this, sis.
Nobody.
Nobody gave us this. We would
Trial
have
and
been off
error.
these
Trial and
coffins.
error. That's so good. I'm gonna have to get me a copy myself. So when we get off of here, of course we're gonna put the link in there for all of y'all. I'm gonna get it. When I get it, I'll share it on my platform as well. Y'all, we gotta start. This is so good that you sharing this with individuals, Miss Whitney, and for people that are struggling like this, because this is truly an example of each one teach one. If you learn something, you going back and getting other people. Like that's what it's all about. But I think when you stabilize yourself and you was able to do this, you now able to go back, but you had to pour into yourself first in order for you to go back and get other people. And that is what I teach you guys all the time. I know my ladies, y'all hear me talking about self-love and posting it all the time, but this was really truly a part of my self-love journey, starting to love myself enough to help myself, because I found it addictive when I went out and helped other people and poured into other people. I felt good about it, but I felt good at that moment, but I felt like trash later on down the line because I had something for everybody else, but nothing for myself. But when I truly was able to help myself, I now feel like I can really truly help others. So I want y'all to really get a hold to this. Get a hold to this book, purchase this book, go to the Amazon link that I'm going to leave in the comments, because I want y'all to get a hold of this. She's giving y'all an actual diet plan. She's a living witness of proof that when you apply these things and apply this to your life, it can actually come into fruition in you too. And if the surgery is not the route to take, you can do it on your own. Because I done lost it on my own too. I done lost 100 pounds by myself too. Listen, we done it all. We done it the natural way, if you want to call it that, and the other way. So you can't say, oh, you did it this way. Yes, I did. I did both ways. So I didn't see both mountains. We didn't been through both of them. Me and myself, me and Miss Whitney, both of us have done it the natural way, call it that way, and the weight loss surgery. So if you got questions about that way, we got you there. You got questions about the surgery, I got you over there too. It's no big deal. I got you on both angles. So go ahead, Miss Whitney. What were you going to say?
You know what I was going to say? I'm glad you said that, because, you know, a lot of people don't realize I had to change my mind on how I look at tools. Everything is a tool. It's different type of tools. So think about a toolbox, right? So you have all of these different tools that work in different, you know, for different reasons. So the weight loss surgery is a tool, but keto is a tool. Working out is a tool. Meal prepping is a tool. It's just about finding the right set of tools for your toolbox to build the matching you want to. What do you want your house to look like, right?
Exactly.
So once you get that, and in the book, just so you are aware, I give you 13 different food plans to choose from, different lifestyles to choose from. Wow. So, and I go into details on 3 of them. So if you're not low carb, I can tell you how I lost 150 doing just clean eating. I got a 5-step plan that's so good. I lost 120 pounds in 5.5 months following it. Right. Wow. And then I have a plan for people who struggle with addiction with sugar, and it's called the Flour Sugar Eliminator. That's the plan I did for my time in FA, Food Addicts and Recovery Anonymous. So I'm gonna find your lane. I promise. I got you.
I know that's right. That's so good. I love it. Well, I'm sold. I love it. I think that this is a great, because it's so many people who struggle with, how do I do that? What do I do? You know, just so many questions when you come in. What should I try? It's all kinds of things that you can try. And like you said, you have several meal plans. You have several workout plans that people can get into to be able to lose that weight and stay consistent. And consistency is key. So whatever plan that you choose out of the book is just stay consistent with it. Stay consistent. Do it every single day. Keep coming back over and over. Even when we talked a little bit about that in the beginning about, oh, I blew it one day, I'm over here. No, you're not. It's just mess up. Okay, get back on the bandwagon. And like I said, you ain't gonna go flatten all four of your tires just because you ran over a nail on one. That don't make no sense. That's crazy. So if you mess up one day, jump back on that thing again and keep going. And Miss Whitney, she's gonna cheer you on. That's one thing she is gonna do is get you together. Okay. She gonna get you together some type of way, and she gonna cheerlead you all the way through that thing. And so I love that. That's what I love about her. Her energy, y'all see, she a firecracker. She came on her preaching and like slaying us in the spirit already this morning early. Okay, and so I'm excited about that. I'm up. I'm woke. I'm excited about it. I want to see more. I'm excited about all of that. So what? Let the ladies know what's next for you, Miss Whitney. How we can reach you. Like, how can we stay in contact with you on social media, emails? Let us know how we stay in contact.
Yes, absolutely. You guys can definitely feel free to follow me on my platforms. On Facebook is Whitney Shalon Franklin Wheeler. Instagram as well as TikTok is Big Girl BIGGIRL underscore working out. I would
Okay.
love to connect with you all on social media here. And if you reach out to me, we have like different support groups and different things of that nature. So we would love to have you on a fitness train. Also, if you guys like to travel, if you're in the Knoxville, Tennessee area, January the 25th to 27th, I'll be speaking at a conference in Knoxville, the King of Glory Conference, and I'll post that information as well. But I'll be doing I'll be one of the keynote speakers talking about health and wellness. So we can definitely come in for that. I'll also be speaking here in Springfield, Missouri this weekend. I'm going to do a workshop called Forever Transform. So if you guys are in any of those areas and you want to attend, feel free to reach out to me and I'll get that information to you.
All right. Awesome. So y'all heard it. If y'all are in those areas, please reach out to her. Y'all get connected with her. She's going to continue to share this beautiful testimony that she shared here with us today. I'm looking forward to all that you got in the future, Miss Whitney, and continue to grow and that book continue to be number one because it needs to be there. I love the fact that you persevered and got that content out there because people absolutely need to hear it. I'm going to support it. We're going to support it over here at Girl Talk Inc. Ladies, I'll leave all of these links in the comments. So if you guys go to the comments, you'll be able to click on the links for the Amazon book in the journal and also that conference. Hopefully you can leave me that information as well, Miss Whitney, and we'll get the link for that as well. So all the ladies can stay connected with you that way. So again, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Thank you for pouring into the ladies. Is there any last things that you want to say to the ladies up on today? Any last words?
Yes, just stay consistent. No, it don't have to be this way. And it's possible. With man, it's impossible. But with God, all things are possible.
Absolutely. All right, ladies. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please share this video, like this video, and tag someone who may be struggling with a weight loss journey or maybe on the fence about things. Just tag them in this video, share this video with them. And again, thank you guys. And I hope you guys have a great night. And I will see y'all next time for another Nights with Nora. Bye. Have a good evening.